Hello traders, this is the weekend wrap. We had an interesting week in the fact that we had very little activity in the EURUSD, Great Britain USD, but we had a lot of movement in the Aussie and New Zealand, which actually definitely affected the New Zealand crosses and the Aussie crosses, not to the same degree though. So what we're going to look in head into the new week is we have a few pairs that key trend and resistance levels, and we're going to look to see if we get a hold or break of those levels into the week. And I would expect we get a hold of the levels, but I'm not going to front run it. I'm going to play the moves, let the charts do the talking. I had a relatively good week. I was up I think 193 pips, so not too bad, but it was mostly in just a few trades and a few of the exotics, and and other than that, it was just a lot of sitting around. Let's take a look first off at the EURUSD, see what we're exactly looking at. You can see this pair is definitely moving higher, broke above that 137.10 level, and now the pair is consolidating above it at the top of the channel. And I know if we run a weekly chart on this, right around here in the 138.40 level, is going to be, I think, the 0.618 fib from the decline from 2011. So there is a lot of resistance right here, right now. And you can see the pair has moved quite a bit from 127.67, so it's up over, what, 1,000 pips in the last few months. So it might be time for the pair to at least move back towards the bottom of the trend line, but I don't know that. But we're going to see what we can get going here. And what I'll be watching for is any bounce lower off this resistance. But if we look on a more focused outlook, you can see for the last 2 days, the pair has been in an incredibly narrow range. It's been basically going in between this 138, 137.75, and let's say 138.25. So it's been in a 50 pip range. It's in no rush to do anything, and it's just wandering around. So there isn't much conviction on either side of this pair right now, and traders seem to remain sideways. I guess we have the FOMC next Wednesday, and I guess there's still going to be the taper talk, but I'm pretty sure that it's probably marked in the books that nothing's going to happen. So let's see in the Great Britain USD. This pair is a little more interesting. It's also up quite a bit. I think it's up like 1,400 pips. But as long as the pair remains above this 158.75, it does favor a continued push lower. But it looks like this pair might be tired also, and we could see a bit of a drawdown in the near future. And if that does in fact occur, we look for a push down line around the 160.20 level in the short term. But we'll have to wait. We can watch this weekly range, which is between like 161.20, let's say, and 162.43. We get a break of that range on either side. That will give us maybe an indication of where we could be going, up towards the 163.30 level, or down to this, as I said, the 160s, the trend line support at what about 160.40. The Aussie USD bounced off the 50 fib perfectly this week at 97.14, and now is down 150 pips lower than that, sitting about mid-range. It has support here at 0.9509. That's the only level you have to focus on. Any move down to there, and you can see that'll be a real test, because we'll also run into a trend line there. If we get a break of that, then we could see a reversal of this current range. New Zealand USD, it's all about this 81.60 level on this pullback, and more importantly, probably this short-term level here, about 82. So if we get down to 82, and basically let's just say this 82, 81.60 level is going to be a resistance zone. But the talk of the town is the USDJPY. We can see that this pair has been riding a trend line higher over the last few months. It's touched it once, twice, 3, now 4 times. And the pair has been sitting here basically not moving over the last 2 days, just following the trend line down, doing the minimum amount of work that it possibly can. So the trend line's at 87.40 now. The pair has moved up about 16 pips, and it'll probably close right at that 87.40 or 97.40 level. And that is what you have to watch. We get a break of this trend line, then finally we could be out of this narrow consolidation ranges that has been dominating the trading for the last 2-3 months, and then maybe we can see a push down towards that 93.80 level. But until that point, we have to be anticipating maybe we'll see a little bit of a push higher, and we'll take a break of 98.90, let's say, to really get some momentum. I'm looking for a push back up to 100. So we're going to watch into the new week. Basically, I'll show you, I'll throw a trend line there. I'll just watch this high right here. If we get a break of that 98.90 level, that would favor a continued push higher. If we get a break of this trend line, though, then we can at least look for a push down to this level right here around the 96, then followed by 93.80. And how's that going to affect the other pairs? EURJPY is on a wedge. We're going to watch this 135 level. If not, we can get a push back down towards this trend line, a break of the 135. Bam. Could shoot up. The Great Britain JPY is just drifting around, so we have this range between 160 and 155. So a break in the USD will definitely see a push down in this pair, but it would also coincide with it would also coincide with some pound strength, and the pound looks like it's going to weaken. So this is a tough play to play right at the moment unless you're going for short-term scalps. Let's look at some of the exotics. You guys are into it. New Zealand 195, Great Britain, New Zealand, that is. This 195 level is key. You can see the pairs bounced, bound. We're right back at it. I guess more importantly, we're the 197.50, but this 195 is in play at the moment, so keep your eyes on it. If we get a daily close above or below, and it looks like we're probably going to get above because we're at 195.29, the open will be key tomorrow, on Sunday, because if we get a gap back down, then we could see a reversal. But if we get a hold above here, we could see a push right up to that 197.50 level, and that'll be a play that you want to keep in mind. Euro New Zealand, same thing. It broke above the 164 and the 165 level, so this close above 165 favors continued strength, and it could be a great trade. Same with the Great Britain, New Zealand, to be looking for 50 backs to jump into, and just keep that in mind into going into the next week. Let's look at the odd pairs. The Great Britain odds right up at this 168.90. Keep your eye on it. You can see right here, this is a very defined range, and now it's trying to right back at that. So we're going to see if we get a bounce or hold here. So we can see it, maybe get a push back down lower. And the Euro just sitting about mid-range, not that exciting. So heading into the new week, we see what we have to look at. There's a lot of interesting stuff. Let's just highlight it real quick one more time. We can see we have the Euro USD right up at the top of this trend, heading up, like I said, against the weekly at 0.618, at 132.40, and at trend line. There's a chance for a reversal lower there. In the Aussie, we still have momentum lower, and we have support at 95.90. In the USDJPY, this is the one to watch the most. We're sitting right on the ledge, right on. We have continued dollar. If we have continued dollar weakness or dollar strength, we're going to see a bounce either way here. You never know with the yen. It might go with the, if we have dollar weakness, it could. It most likely would appreciate itself, but if it's a safe haven call, we could see pairs going in the same direction. And the other pair to watch is the EURJPY, sitting right here at this top of the 135 level. And that is it. All these charts are available on the blog. Check it out. And if you want to sign up for the Keen feed and get the Currency Watch video and every day and so forth, up 193 pips last week. Do so over the weekend, and you'll be in on Monday. All right, everybody. Great weekend. I'll see you next week.